You've probably heard the saying, a great leader has a vision. But here's something surprising, 85% of leaders fail to achieve their vision. Why? Because having a vision isn't enough. Without the right tools, strategies, and connections, even the most inspiring ideas can fall flat. In fact, 70% of business strategies fail during execution, and most of those failures start with the leader's inability to turn a vision into reality. In this video, we're going to uncover why vision alone doesn't make you a great leader. We'll dive into the key strategies that turn vision into action, build trust, and inspire others to follow. Stick around, and you'll learn what separates truly effective leaders from the ones who just dream big without ever making it happen. The truth might just surprise you, and it could change the way you think about leadership forever. Chapter 1: The Pitfall of Visionary Overload. Too much dreaming, not enough doing. We've all met leaders with big ideas, and while a bold vision is exciting, it can quickly become a double-edged sword. Visionaries often get so caught up in long-term dreams that they forget the real work lies in action. Leadership is about getting things done, not just imagining them. Take Jeff Bezos, for example. He started Amazon in a garage, but he didn't just dream of global success, he created a system to make it happen. A study from Harvard Business Review shows that 70% of visionary leaders fail to execute their strategies because they're too focused on grand ideas without clear, actionable steps. This is where many leaders trip up. It's easy to get lost in the vision, but remember, without structure, even the most amazing dream will stay just that, a dream. To avoid this pitfall, effective leaders break their vision down into smaller, achievable goals. This makes it easier to track progress and adjust when things go off course. Leaders who are great at execution spend just as much time planning as they do envisioning. Think of the famous story of how Thomas Edison turned his vision of the light bulb into reality. It wasn't just about having an idea, he tested over 1,000 materials before discovering the right filament. It was persistence and small steps that made his vision real. Another crucial strategy is to stay grounded in the present while looking to the future. Yes, vision is essential, but it's equally important to measure the progress made towards it. Focus on what's achievable now, then plan what comes next. It's about balancing your long-term dreams with short-term wins. Remember, leadership isn't about a perfect outcome but about taking consistent action towards your vision. Chapter 2: The Blind Spot. Why vision alone can't cultivate trust. We've all heard it. A good leader has a vision. And while that's true, having a vision doesn't automatically make you trustworthy. Vision without trust is like trying to drive a car without fuel. A study by Gallup found that trust is one of the biggest predictors of employee engagement. In fact, 65% of employees who trust their leaders are 20 times more likely to feel motivated at work. Trust is built over time, through consistent actions, honesty, and reliability. You can have a grand vision, but if you're not showing up for your team, they won't follow you. For instance, when Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, it wasn't just his vision of creating sleek, innovative products that saved the company, it was his ability to rebuild trust with his team and his customers. He was known for holding himself and others to high standards, and this consistency built the trust that made his vision possible. Effective leaders understand that trust is a two-way street. You can't expect your team to follow your vision if you don't listen to their concerns and include them in the journey. Open communication, empathy, and the ability to admit mistakes go a long way. Brené Brown, a leading researcher on leadership, says, "Trust is earned in the smallest of moments. Those small moments of connection, like acknowledging a job well done or being transparent during tough decisions, matter more than you think." Another powerful way to build trust is by demonstrating competence. People trust leaders who know their stuff and can deliver. Without competence, even the best vision will be seen as hollow. So, while dreaming big is important, executing with skill and showing up with integrity is what makes you a true leader. Chapter 3: The Groundwork. Turning your vision into a blueprint. Great leaders know that a vision without a plan is like a road without a map. Vision is crucial, but it's the groundwork, the planning, the strategy, the systems, that turns that vision into something tangible. Think about Walt Disney. His vision wasn't just to create an amusement park, it was to build an experience that people would never forget. But he didn't stop at dreaming. He created a step-by-step blueprint for how to make that experience a reality. Today, Disney is one of the most recognizable brands globally. Turning vision into action requires a clear strategy. Leaders need to break their vision into concrete tasks, set deadlines, and assign roles. Studies from McKinsey and Company show that organizations with detailed strategic plans are 3.5 times more likely to achieve their goals than those without. A plan doesn't just give you direction, it also provides a way to measure progress. Without a plan, you're shooting in the dark. But it's not enough to just write down a few goals. Successful leaders continuously revise their strategies based on feedback and results. The Lean Startup by Eric Ries emphasizes the idea of build, measure, learn, which means testing your vision on a small scale before fully committing. This strategy helps minimize risks and ensures your vision is aligned with the market and your team's needs. One thing that's often overlooked is flexibility. Your vision may change, and that's okay. Great leaders know how to adapt their strategies to meet shifting demands or new opportunities. The best leaders see every challenge as an opportunity to learn and improve their plan. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more leadership insights and strategies that will help you turn your vision into action. Chapter 4: Visionary or Illusionary? Avoiding the false leadership mirage. It's easy for leaders to get carried away with a big, bold vision. But there's a fine line between being a visionary and simply being an illusionary leader, someone whose vision looks great on paper but lacks the substance to back it up. This can lead to unrealistic expectations and, ultimately, failure. In fact, studies show that nearly 60% of leadership initiatives fail due to a disconnect between the vision and the ability to execute it. Leaders often think that the idea itself will carry them through, but without practical plans and solid groundwork, it's just a fantasy. The key here is grounding your vision in reality. It's essential to stay connected to the people who are going to make it happen, your team. While it's important to have a grand vision, it's even more important to continuously assess whether it's achievable with the resources at hand. According to the Harvard Business Review, leaders who frequently seek feedback and adjust their vision based on real-world insights are 2.5 times more likely to succeed in the long term. One way to avoid falling into the trap of an illusionary leader is to test your ideas before fully committing. That's why many successful companies, like Google, operate on a principle called Minimum Viable Product, MVP. This means testing an idea or product on a smaller scale before scaling it up. This approach helps avoid the common pitfall of chasing after an idea that sounds great but doesn't have the legs to go the distance. Another way to keep your vision grounded is by staying informed. Leadership requires constant learning. Leaders must be aware of shifts in the market, technology, and the challenges facing their teams. In Good to Great, Jim Collins found that the most successful leaders are not only visionary but also humble and willing to face reality, even if it means changing the original vision. Leaders who get too wrapped up in their dreams tend to ignore warning signs, which can lead to big setbacks. Remember, vision without the tools, feedback, and knowledge to make it real is just a pipe dream. Ground your ideas in facts, adjust as needed, and always keep your team at the heart of your vision. Chapter 5: The Power of People. Why vision without influence is a lonely road. It's often said that leadership is influence. But many leaders mistakenly assume that having a great vision automatically leads to influence. Unfortunately, this is far from the truth. Even the best ideas will fall flat without the ability to rally people around them. You might have a big dream, but without the power to influence and inspire your team, your vision will likely go unfulfilled. According to Gallup, 70% of employees are disengaged when they don't feel their leaders are inspiring or motivating them. One of the best ways to build influence is by understanding the needs and motivations of your team. Influence is not about telling people what to do. It's about inspiring them to act because they believe in the cause. Dale Carnegie, in his classic book How to Win Friends and Influence People, emphasizes that people follow leaders who listen to them, value their input, and show genuine interest in their well-being. In addition to listening, effective leaders also make sure they communicate their vision in a way that resonates with their audience. Research shows that leaders who can clearly articulate their vision are 3 times more likely to inspire their teams to follow it. This means simplifying complex ideas into a story that everyone can understand and see themselves in. When people can connect emotionally to your vision, they become invested in making it a reality. Another strategy is to empower others. Leadership isn't about doing everything yourself, it's about lifting others up and making them feel like they're part of the journey. This is especially true in modern leadership, where shared leadership and collaboration are key to success. By giving team members ownership of parts of your vision, you'll inspire them to take initiative and contribute to the bigger picture. Lastly, influential leaders show their integrity. Trust is a huge factor in influence, and leaders who act consistently with their values and follow through on their promises build credibility. In Leaders Eat Last, Simon Sinek talks about how leaders who prioritize the well-being of their team build a culture of trust and cooperation. Without trust, you can't lead effectively, no matter how strong your vision is. Chapter 6, Evolving Your Vision. Leadership is a journey, not a destination. A great leader knows that vision isn't something static, it's a living, breathing entity that evolves with time. As the world changes, so too should your vision. In fact, leaders who fail to adapt their vision to new circumstances risk falling behind. In The Innovator's Dilemma, Clayton Christensen explains how businesses can become too attached to their original vision, only to be overtaken by competitors who are willing to adapt to new realities. Successful leaders don't just stick to one idea, they continuously refine and evolve their vision. This process starts with being open to feedback. Your team, your market, and even your competitors have valuable insights that can help shape your vision. A study by McKinsey found that organizations that foster a culture of innovation and feedback have a 25% higher chance of achieving their long-term goals. The most effective leaders don't wait for problems to occur, they proactively seek feedback and adjust their course accordingly. Adapting your vision also requires a certain level of humility. The best leaders understand that they don't have all the answers, and they are open to change. John C. Maxwell, a leadership expert, says, "The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. If you're too rigid, you'll miss opportunities for growth and improvement." The key is to stay grounded in your purpose while being flexible in how you achieve it. In the modern business world, agility is more important than ever. As technology and customer needs rapidly evolve, leaders must be able to pivot quickly without losing sight of their overall mission. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many businesses had to shift their entire model to survive. Leaders who successfully adapted their vision and strategy to meet new challenges emerged stronger, while those who didn't were left behind. Lastly, the evolution of your vision should always align with your values and the core principles of your organization. While the path may change, the foundational purpose behind your vision should remain intact. Leaders who understand this are able to inspire their teams, even in times of uncertainty. The most successful leaders don't view vision as a one-time goal but as an ongoing journey of growth, learning, and adaptation. In conclusion, evolving your vision isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. By remaining flexible and responsive to change, you'll ensure that your vision continues to inspire and drive your team towards success, no matter how much the world changes around you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more leadership strategies that will help you turn your vision into action. Stay tuned for more content that will change the way you lead.